material, I'm material, I'm material girl.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. So I have been wanting to share some advice about Depop for a while now. I've been selling on Depop for about 2 years now. If you don't know what Depop is, it's just an app where you can resell clothing, accessories, shoes. It's kind of different than the normal selling apps. It's a little bit more for younger people. There's a lot more vintage stuff, things that are currently trending. So yeah, like I said, I've been doing it for the past 2 years now, and I've kind of navigated my way through selling on there. What are the best items to post, like descriptions, taking photos, pricing, shipping, customer service, all of that stuff. So I kind of wanted to share a little bit of my advice because I've been kind of successful. I think over the past couple months I've made a couple $100s a week with what I've been selling. So I'm gonna kind of just walk you through the process of starting your account, where to begin when you start selling things, like what items to choose from, where to start with the photos and descriptions, and walk through the entire process from starting and listing and then to finally selling and then completing sales. So I have the app pulled up on my phone just so I can look at how everything is. So I know when you start your shop, you have to pick your name, you know, do all the normal account setup things, and then I think you have to link your PayPal account because you do sell through Depop, and then PayPal is kind of the payment server that they use. If you have to handle refunds, or if there's an issue, like let's say you buy something and the shipper doesn't sell it to you, there's protection because of the use of PayPal, which is really awesome. I actually love that. For your shop name, I think it's pretty much up to you. I have my own name. I just have Alexandra De Leon. And then for my bio, I just have fashion blogger, selling one-of-a-kind pieces from my personal closet. I have no trades and all sales are final. And then I have my Instagram linked and my profile picture and my name. And then next, if you want to sell items, I'm just gonna kind of walk you through that process and how I do it. I know people do things a lot differently. There's so many ways to run your shop and kind of manage your inventory. I know people go out and buy things specifically for their shop, but I like to just resell clothing from my closet that I'm done wearing, that I've never worn, that I've worn only a couple times, or that I just kind of want to get rid of. I've listed a wide variety of items on my shop before, and I definitely can tell now like what's going to sell versus what doesn't really sell. So basically how I run my shop with the items I list, I try to find things from my closet that are really unique and really statemented and stick out because there's so many shops on the platform. So I kind of want to try to vary the kind of products I list and make them unique with different styles because I personally have a bunch of different styles that I go by. So I like to keep my shop open with options and different pieces that people can choose from. So I just pulled a bunch of examples from my clothing rack that I keep all my Depop listings on, just to kind of show you the kind of pieces that I feel like are worth taking the time to take photos in and write descriptions on, because it does take a lot of time. So I just have these track pants. They're like reflective, just little jogger pants. I have this corset top that I thrifted. I have these two tank tops. This one is from IMGA, and then this one's like a little sequin top that I also just thrifted. I have this pink checker dress from Dolls Kill, this vintage top from the 80s, and this hockey style jersey from Dolls Kill. So now for the photo taking process. So once you're ready to take your photos, I know this tip has been kind of told by everybody that gives Depop advice, but lighting is genuinely the most important thing. So basically for my own photos, I take them in my bedroom in the corner behind the camera, and I open all the windows in my room. I usually take my photos, you know, early afternoon when the sun is bright and shiny, and I open all my windows and I get this really amazing natural lighting in my room, and I set my tripod up and I use my phone and my self timer, and I just take all my photos. I style my outfit I will get into, and then I take all the photos in the corner of my room, kind of where my door is, and a plain wall, because it's a really simple background. I've had times where I've taken photos early afternoon, the sun is perfect and the lighting is perfect, and then I will take photos, you know, later in the afternoon when the sun is kind of setting, where it's not the best lighting. And always those items that I do take with the better lighting sell so much quicker than the ones that kind of have a more dim lighting. You know, when I'm online shopping from a store, I always think about how they have their photos and how they make the clothing that they're selling look appealing to you. I style every single outfit for every single piece. So yeah, I think the photos are everything. I've actually had items that weren't selling, and so I actually would go back and restyle the outfits and take brand new pictures, and then right away they sell. And if you take the extra effort, it really does make it worth it. So once you have all the photos taken, I like to filter them and edit them and make them look, you know, presentable. I like to throw on a filter. I like to enhance the photos, the pieces specifically, because sometimes the details and things don't really translate to the photos. Like sometimes a piece might look a little bit more vibrant than it does in the photos, or the colors might not pop as much as they do in person. So I like to go in and really make sure that the piece looks like it does in person. But on the other hand, I wouldn't go crazy with the filters, and if the person gets it and it doesn't look like it did in the photos, they might be a little upset. So just keep that in mind, just a healthy balance of filters and editing, just to make them look as best as they can, but don't go too crazy with it. So once you're about to list the products, what you'll do is you'll click the bottom camera, and then you could take a video of you in the item, or you can just post up to 4 photos of you in the item. I would definitely use up all the photos that you are able to use, because I think the more photos of the item you post and the different angles of it, I think that's really important as well. I just like to describe the item as much as I can, describe everything about the item. First sentence, I like to just list exactly what it is, just straightforward. So for example, the reflective track pants that I showed you, I have in there, it says black and silver reflective track pants, and then I start to describe the item. So I put it has a zipper closure with black nylon material and silver reflective material around the knee and zipper area. The ankles and waistband are elastic, bought originally from Nordstrom, never worn, tag size medium. Be honest about the items that you are selling, so if there's any damages, make sure you list them, because if not, they can actually take action against you and, you know, receive their money back, or there's just a problem, you know, if you're not honest about the item. How much you've worn the item, where you got the item, mention the condition that it's in, just, you know, as much information as you can about the item, and, you know, really describe it from head to toe. I always talk about the closures, so, you know, like if there's a zipper closure, you know, on the side or on the back, any details that you feel like are going to persuade the buyer, that's really important to mention as well. And then a category, so you have an option of menswear, jewelry, art, tech, like all these things, and then you can choose specifically what kind of piece it is. And then you have options of sizing, so you can put in, you know, what size it is. And then delivery. So now this is where the shipping comes in. So you have basically 2 options when you're selling from Depop. You can either choose to ship with Depop via USPS. So basically once the item is purchased, shipping label is sent directly to you. All you have to do is print it out and send off the package. Or you can arrange your own shipping, which I like to ship via PayPal, which uses USPS. So you can charge whatever price you feel is necessary. I usually keep my shop at $7, because after fees are taken out from Depop, because they do take out a 10% fee, and then PayPal also does take a fee out. I'm not sure how much it is specifically. The totals end up being, you know, a couple dollars less than how much you listed them for. So I use the PayPal shipping option, which I will explain later. And then you choose the item price. So I typically keep my items above $20, because I feel like the quality of the pieces that I buy are definitely worth that. It's really just item by item. And then also I do hike up the price a little bit more because people always want to haggle. I start the price off higher because I know people will try and go low. So I think it's pretty even and fair in that aspect. And then once you're listed, I would say be very active on the app. I would say answer people's messages, you know, as soon as you get them, as soon as you see that they've sent you questions, just answer right away, be very clear, be very friendly. Like I said, people do haggle on this app and they will try and lowball you because, you know, sometimes people just want to get rid of this stuff or they don't mind, you know, taking cheaper prices. But if you feel like an item is worth it, just respectfully decline, or something that I say is the lowest I can go is, you know, insert price, and then, you know, I'll send like a heart, or, you know, just being extra friendly. So now for the actual shipping process. So this is kind of the box where I keep all of the stuff that I ship. It's just really simple for me. I just keep it really neat in here. It doesn't need to take up a ton of space. I know a lot of people like to buy their own packaging, and I like to recycle the packaging that I receive. I just keep a wide range of sizes. I have this other little box that I keep tissue paper in. So I hand wrap all my items in with tissue paper and just make it look nice and protected. I have my packaging tape and then tape that I use when I wrap the stuff in tissue paper. And then I have a bag of thank you notes that I send in the packaging just as a little personal addition to them. So I just have a big stack of these that I keep. So they just say thank you, your purchase is greatly appreciated. Check out my fashion blog at alexandradeleon.co, and then I say Alex DeLeon from Depop, and then I just have this little stamp and then this little charm thing. This pack of shipping labels. Oh, and then finally I have this scale that I use to weigh my packages. If you use the PayPal option the way that I do, you have to insert a weight in there, so I would definitely recommend trying to find a scale. I just have it on the setting with the pounds and ounces. Usually my packages don't really weigh that much. I think max is always like a pound or so. But if you do use the PayPal option like I do, where you're in charge of the shipping yourself, you do have to enter in a weight. So keep that in mind. So like I said, I use PayPal to ship, and essentially what you'll do is you'll go into PayPal on the computer, and then you'll choose the name of the person that purchased it from you. Usually we'll say like needs attention or something, and then you choose print shipping label at the top of the screen, and then it'll give you different options of, you know, how you want to ship it. You could choose priority, like a 2 to 5 day, medium mail like 2 to 9 days, like a 2 to 3 day option, just depending on what you choose. I usually do the 2 to 5 day option. It's usually no more than like $3 or so. And then once you're done creating the shipping label, you just print it out. You just package up the item and put on the shipping label, and then you're good to go. And then what I like to do is take it to UPS because they have a drop-off bin. I like to message them right away with the tracking number so you can access it through PayPal and then just copy and paste it into the app. It's really up to you, but as quick as possible, I would say send out your items to them. It just is a lot better for you and the customer because you don't have to worry about it, and then they get their item quicker, transaction is done quicker. I always like to send out a personal message to the person, and usually it's just the same copy and paste message that I send to everybody, but I say, hi, sent out your package this afternoon, enjoy, and then some emojis. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it with the entire process of selling. Most important tips, just make sure you have a good selection of items in your shop. Be very active on the app. Just make sure you're honest on there. Make sure you give clear descriptions. Yeah, but those are kind of just my tips for selling on Depop. It's all about, you know, kind of how much work you put into it is kind of what you're gonna get from it. So those are my big tips of advice. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and follow me on my social media if you don't already. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.